Is it too expensive to continue investing in Salt Lake City real estate? We're going to cover that and more here in this video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. My name's Cody. I'm a Salt Lake City based real estate agent here in the area. I cover the entire Wasatch Front, and me and my team actually cover the entire state of Utah. We help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate here. I'm actually an investor myself. I've got 20 units spread out across the Wasatch Front, and then also a property that's in a little bit smaller of a town in eastern Utah. So I am an investor myself, and I'm constantly looking at what's happening in the market. I'm looking for deals, I'm looking for properties, because I believe if something comes up, there's going to be a buyer for that property if the numbers make sense. However, a lot of the properties that are being listed right now on the MLS especially are not going to pencil out. They're not going to have numbers that are good enough, even with 25-30% down. So it's kind of crazy to still be like breaking even or even losing money every month when you're putting 25-30% down into a property. So we're going to actually talk about two different properties here in this video. I'm going to do a little bit of an analysis with you. So if that's something you're interested in, then make sure to stay tuned. Before we do that though, I do have to mention two things. One, consider sharing this video with a friend or a family member who's maybe interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate here in Utah. And number two, make sure to reach out to me if you're thinking about making a move here, if you already live here, you want to sell your house, you want to buy a house, or you want to invest in real estate. Make sure to reach out. My information will be here on the screen. Call, text, or email anytime. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. I've helped people from all across the world relocate right here to Utah, and I'd love to hear from you as well. Without further ado, let's jump into some of the topics of this video. So the first thing I want to talk about is prices. Prices have gone up significantly over the last couple of years. If you've been watching my channel, if you've been looking at the real estate market, you will know, hey, things are moving pretty quick and there's a lot that's happening, and prices have gone up significantly. We were seeing median prices in like the low to mid 300 range just 2 years ago. And now in April of 2022, we're seeing that median price hit 530, 540, 550. Who knows where April will end up, but as of right now, we're looking at about $540,000 since the last time I looked at it. So prices have gone up. I mean, that's almost like what, 40% or more in the last couple of years, from like the 350 range to let's say 540. I mean, that's almost $200,000. That's about 190 an increase in purchase price. So that's just for single family homes. That's just for townhomes, kind of owner occupied residential properties. But multifamily and stuff that's more investment focused has gone up significantly as well. We've seen prices increase pretty heavily in these areas as well, because a lot of people are just looking to place their money because of the next thing we're going to talk about here, which is inflation. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of inflation across the country. Everybody's feeling it. Food prices are up, gas prices are up, house prices are up, car prices are up, everything is up, right? Because of inflation, real estate is actually a pretty good hedge against inflation. When you own real estate, it's actually a really good thing to have because it kind of hedges you against the inflation. It gets cheaper to pay off that mortgage when inflation goes up. As the value of the dollar gets diluted, it becomes easier and easier to actually pay your mortgage each month, or your tenants to pay that mortgage each month, and continue to pay down the loan, get the tax benefits, get everything that's associated with owning real estate, and it's actually a really good hedge. So we've seen a lot of people who have pulled money out of the stock market or just had money on the sidelines, and they say, hey, I want to put this money into real estate because I think that inflation is going to continue, and that's continued to push prices up. There's been a lot of people who are looking at the market saying, you know what, honestly, I'm okay to just break even because I'll take one, the tax benefits, right? I'll get the depreciation, I'll get the write-offs that I need, and number two, they're okay with the principal pay down, and they know that rents will go up eventually, and this will cover their cash flow differences to make sure that the property is making a little bit of money each month. Now, for me personally, I actually like cash flowing on every single one of my properties. In fact, I probably won't even look at a deal if it doesn't cash flow right off the bat. I think probably the lowest cash flowing deal that I personally have, cash flow is probably about $500 a month, and I've got maybe my best one is about $1,300 per month. So it varies a little bit on how much cash flow I'll get, versus for what the rents are versus what my mortgage is. And some of those properties are properties that I've owned for a couple of years. So of course you're going to expect the cash flow to go up over time as rents go up and as your payment theoretically stays the same, assuming you're on a 30-year fixed mortgage. So all of that being said, I'm a big believer that that's why we've seen prices go up. We've seen prices continue to increase because people are trying to place money, they're trying to hedge against inflation, and they're okay to take the returns that they get for the tax benefits and the pay down and everything else associated with owning real estate. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is interest rates. So over the past couple months, interest rates have been climbing. They were at about 2.7, 2.8. I mean, I personally had a 2.5 interest rate on a property that I own, and most of them are going to be in the 3% range for investment properties. Now, those days are long gone. If you're looking at investment properties right now, you're probably going to pay somewhere between maybe 4.75 on the very low end to maybe 5.25 or 5.5 on the high end. So somewhere in that low 5% range is totally reasonable for where interest rates are at right now. I think this is going to soften the market pretty substantially because it's really going to cut into the type of profit that you can make on these investment deals, right? If you're paying a lot more interest for these properties, your payment amount is going to be higher and the rents are not going to be able to cover that. So you're either taking a bigger loss or the price of that property needs to come down to make the numbers work a little bit better. So all of those things kind of playing together, to answer the question, hey, does it still make sense to invest? I think it really depends on your situation. Number one, are you looking for appreciation? And number two, are you looking for cash flow? Based on these two things, I think that really determines if you should invest here in the area or not, right? If you're just looking to park some money, if you're looking for appreciation and you're okay to break even on a deal, well then sure, investing here I still think makes a ton of sense. I think we're going to see rents go up substantially over the next 12 to 24 months. I think, somewhere in the 10 to maybe even 25% range is totally reasonable over the next 2 years, just depending on the area, the size, the desirability of the property. And as those rents continue to go up, I think that's going to make your deal even better. So if you buy a deal today, you may have to wait a year, 2 years, 3 years for the rents to kind of catch up and for you to start making some money, but that might be worth it for you, right? If you're looking for something that strictly just cash flows right out the door, that's going to be pretty tough to find. I'll just be honest with you. You got to look far and wide to find something like that. Yes, there are deals like that happening. A lot of them are off market. A lot of them are deals that none of us will even see. I see a lot of off market deals, but a lot of the best ones that are actually cash flowing are selling very quickly and trading hands, without anybody else really even seeing it, right? So that's a whole video for another day. But so that's where I think investment properties are going to go. Should you continue investing in Utah real estate, or if you haven't already invested and you're thinking about investing, well, then that might be something to consider. Is like, hey, am I looking for appreciation? Am I looking for cash flow? Am I looking to just park some money? Do I need tax benefits, right? There's a lot of variables here that come into play, and that's something I can help you with. If you're thinking about making that investment, reach out to me. Call, text, or email anytime. As always, I'd love to chat with you about your individual situation and give you my opinion, right? And you may agree, you may disagree with my opinion, but at least I can share that with you so you can have an idea of kind of where I stand and what I think you should do based on your situation. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into my computer here and take a look at two different properties that just came up today actually, and take a look at some of these numbers that we're seeing. I think these two properties are pretty decent for what they are, but prices are going to be super expensive, right? So this is a triplex. You can see that right here. Triplex. This is in downtown Salt Lake, so 53 North, 940 West. This would be considered, almost like Rose Park area, I guess you'd say. Probably just south of Rose Park. Yeah, so Rose Park is going to be mostly up here in this area. This is going to be kind of right here, as you can see by that green dot. So pretty good location, west side of downtown Salt Lake, which is, the rougher side of town. It's actually going through a lot of revitalization right now, so I think it's actually going to be an up-and-coming area that's really nice over the next little bit. But as of right now, this is a triplex, old building built in 1911, 3 units, 2,000 square feet. A couple pictures here. They're asking $700,000 for this particular house, and you've got rents for a 2-bedroom here at $1,000 a month. This one is also at $1,000 a month, and then this one is at $1,690. So that gives you total rents of $3,690 a month. Now, those are pretty decent numbers, with interest rates. And if you had let's say a 25% down payment on this, you're probably just under break even for something like this. I mean, we can take a look at this here. If we pull up this mortgage calculator, so let's go ahead and do a 5% interest rate. Taxes are probably a little bit low. These are probably closer to like $2,600 at least. Insurance is going to be about $1,200 per year. And then let's say 25% down payment. you're going to be at a payment amount of $3,134. So looking at this deal, I mean, with 25% down, that's still not too bad. Even at 5% interest rate. So what did we say the rents were? $36.90, I think. So you've got almost $500 of margin there. Now, of course, you're gonna have some repairs. You might have a property manager. You might have utilities. You're gonna have all these things you have to pay. But I mean, right off the bat, that's not like a terrible deal. I think that's actually pretty decent. I think $700,000 is considered a fairly fair price, right, as far as where the market's at today. So $700,000 for this property. These 2-bedroom units, I think you could probably get rents up to $1,050, $1,100, especially over the next couple months or next time they come due. This one here that's 3 bedrooms, they're getting $1,690. That's about the going rate. I've got a couple 3-bedroom units not far from here, and I'm getting somewhere in that $1,600 to $1,800 a month range. So, I think these rents, the rents for this unit are pretty much at market. These other two could be raised slightly, which will just help pad those numbers just a little bit more. So again, not a bad property here. It's going to need some love. It's built in 1911, so it's an old house, but something I would consider if I had 25% and I just needed to place it somewhere, buy a property, take the tax benefits, all that stuff. This is not a bad deal. Let's come down here and take a look at this fourplex. So this fourplex, they are asking $1.395 million. So almost $1.4 million for this fourplex. Now this is a nice building, right? It's been updated. They've got the grass photoshopped, but looks pretty decent. Inside looks like it's been remodeled. This is in a better location. It's still a little bit older of a building, built in 1952, but it's here on 15th South and 5th East. So this is just south of Liberty Park, which is right here. This is a great location, awesome location, but still, I mean, 1.4 million. Man, I remember when fourplexes were going for like 5, 6, 700,000. If you were in a super nice area, it might be 800,000, right? Now, a fourplex downtown selling for 1.4 million. I mean, this property was was bought in 2017. Probably needed some renovations and stuff, but they paid $528,000 in 2017, just 5 years ago. Almost $1 million increase in 5 years. That's pretty insane. I'm sure they put a lot of work into the property. So maybe their cost basis is like 700, 800, who knows? But still, I mean, the gain on this property is substantial if it ends up selling for that price. I think 1.4 is probably a little bit high. 1.3, it gets a lot more interesting. But let's go down here and take a look at these rents. So 855 square foot units, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, renting for $1,340 per month. So that's probably about the market rate for these units. You've got a 1-bedroom here renting for $1,040, another 2-bedroom $1,690, and another 2-bedroom $1,690. So the market rents, depending on how nice they are, can vary for a 2-bedroom in this area between $1,340 to $1,690. So if you did a little bit of work, you could get the rents up here just a little bit, and then you're looking at rents of, let's say, $1,690 plus $1,690 plus $1,040 plus $1,340. So you're at $5,760 on the rents here. So that's our total rent amount. Let's take a look at this and see what our numbers shake out to be. Let's do 5% interest rate, 25% down, which is going to be pretty much what's required on a property like this. Insurance for a building like this, I'm guessing you're probably close to like $1,600 for the location and for the size of the home. And let's take a look at what our payment would be. So on this particular deal, your payment would still be just over $6,000 for this property, even with 25% down. So with the rents where they're at, I mean, you're still paying about $250, and that's before any repairs, that's before property manager, that's before water, sewer, garbage, some of those utilities that the landlord generally pays. Even for this deal, I mean, 25% down, you're gonna put $350,000 into this property and you're almost break even. I don't know, guys. For some people that makes sense. For some people it doesn't. I'd say, well, actually, most people it doesn't, right? If you're going to put $350,000 into a property, you need to be earning a substantial return on it. That's why I said, 1.4 is just kind of crazy. I think 1.3, it gets a lot more interesting. Even anything below that, I think you could probably swing it, probably make something happen. But just wanted to run through a couple deals with you guys. I know there's a few people out there who enjoy watching my videos and learning about investments, learning about investing in real estate here. They're looking to house hack. They're looking to buy their first duplex, their first single family home rental, whatever it may be. And so I just wanted to share kind of some quick analysis on a few properties here with you. Thank you so much for watching. Consider sharing this video with a friend or a family member who's interested in investing. And don't forget to reach out to me. Call, text, or email anytime. I love chatting with you guys, and I'd love to talk to you about your upcoming investment, or if you're looking to buy or sell real estate for yourself, I'd love to help with that as well. My information's here on the screen. Can't wait to hear from you. Thanks for watching. We will catch you in the next one.